Here.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Here.
Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Savarino.
Here. Tonight we have Troop 98, and they will present the colors and lead the audience in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, if you'd like to come back and take a picture up here with us, everybody.
Spread all the way down. You guys can spread all the way down. Oh, yeah, I like this idea a lot. I know where you're going. Here, come on, right in here. Right in there.
Be shy. You can stand right next to
There you go. All right, are we doing masks
Got
on?
everybody in? Everybody in? What about you two? Somebody else take the picture. Come on, get up here.
We got plenty of people to take
There we
pictures.
go. We got the chief and the deputy chief. Wouldn't be complete without you.
Thank you, thank you.
Everybody smiling? Okay. Okay, guys, make us proud, okay?
Thank you. We will. Thank you again for your time.
Oh,
There should have been on the stool.
okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our February 7th, 2022 Village Board meeting?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Fruzzoloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Abstain.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our February 7th, 2022 special workshop meeting?
So moved. Second.
Moved by trustee Geezer, seconded by trustee Garvey. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Abstain.
Tia, do we have anything from the audience, any participation at all?
We have received no electronic comment submissions.
And nothing in the back? Okay, with that, we will move right on to our meeting. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Fruzzoloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Board and Commission reports, Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals, 22-0007, Zoning Text Amendment, Unified Development Ordinance, UDO, Miscellaneous Modifications, recommended approval 5-0.
Yes.
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 22-0008, adoption of the 2022 official zoning map, recommended approval 5-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Staff reports and recommendations. Approval of a First Amendment to non-exclusive license agreement with Verizon Wireless for the Lees Road Water Tower, 1015 Lees Road.
Yes.
Yes.
Authorization for the purchase and delivery of ERTs from United Systems in an amount not to exceed $13,556.60 pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5-8-3B and 5-8-14C of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Authorization for the purchase and delivery of AMR registers from Midwest Meter, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $11,952 pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5-8-3B and 5-8-14C of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Approval of a contract extension with Prime Landscaping for plant bed maintenance services in the amount of $25,414.63 for the period of May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023, pursuant to the provisions of Section 5-8-3B and subsection 5-8-14N of the Village Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Approval of a contract extension with Prime Landscaping for mowing of rights-of-way and village properties in the amount of $52,383.13 for the period of May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023, pursuant to the provisions of Section 5-8-3B and subsection 5-8-14N of the Village Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 16 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances, Unified Development Ordinance, miscellaneous modifications.
Yes.
You said off by trustee Garvey?
I'm sorry. Off by trustee Garvey.
Ordinance amending Chapter 6 Building Construction and Maintenance Codes and Chapter 12 Annexations, Public Ways and Properties of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances to correct references to annexation fees and land and cash donations and to reflect updated zoning district names following adoption of the Unified Development Ordinance.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2022-02-11. Excuse me, 10. That's ordinance number 2022-02-10. Resolutions. Resolution authorizing the execution of the official zoning map of the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3236. Resolution approving a settlement agreement and release by and between the Village of Carroll Stream, CMC Building Group LLC, Landmark Infrastructure Holding Company LLC, LD Acquisition Company 14 LLC, and Outfront Media LLC with respect to 2020 CH 00645.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3237. New business, approval of a raffle license and waiver of the fee and manager's fidelity bond, and approval of an amplification permit with waiver of the application fee for the village's Fall Fest to be held on September 24th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Approval of an amplification permit and waiver of the application fee for the village's Kids' Day event to be held on May 21st, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Payment of bills. Regular bills, February 8th, 2022 through February 22nd, 2022.
Yes.
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 Addendum warrants, February 8th, 2022 through February 22nd, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Treasurer's report, revenue expenditure statements and balance sheet for the month ended January 31st, 2022.
Received.
Received.
And that concludes the items on the consent agenda.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garby.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Frizzaloni, seconded by trustee Gazer. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garby.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey asked that I-1 be pulled off. Mr. Garvey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since much of the UDO update relates to the video cafe, to which I objected earlier in a previous board meeting and voted against it, I think it's incumbent upon me to remain consistent and vote against these changes to accommodate the video cafes in Carroll Stream. And I offer no such motion.
You, pardon me?
I'm not offering any motion, so it's open to the floor.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance amending Chapter 16 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Berger. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
No.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
And that is ordinance number 2022-02-11.
Okay, we go right into, this is the fun part, huh? Report of officers. Trustee Berger?
I will keep mine brief. I wanted to recognize fellow trustee Garvey, McCarthy. No offense, Tom.
Recognize it.
I was looking at you for, I know he'll have an update on it, but for his Relay for Life Bags Tournament. I was there last night and I've been there many years and seeing his passion behind it, and it's a great thing for our community. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I wanted to thank the troops for coming to do the flag, and especially Ryan. Where did he go? There he is. Ryan's older brother is dating my daughter, so,
Oh, boy.
anything I can do to make males in that family a little uncomfortable, I have to, it's my obligation.
As a father,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Will allow.
And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, trustee Berger. An excellent report.
Says the father of a
Trustee,
daughter.
trustee Garvey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to offer my commendations to the police department and Chief Holmer for your consistent efforts at crime prevention and deterrence in our village. We've got a good reputation for traffic enforcement, and I believe that the consistent police action that you've been demonstrating in the last few months is also building a reputation that we diligently protect our community. So hats off to you. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
That's the end of my report.
Garvey? Trustee Zalick?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, I'm wearing black, not because it's budget, we have a budget meeting, but that one of my favorite songwriters, Johnny Cash, was born on February 26th, so I'm wearing all black to recognize him. Secondly, I want to thank the Troop 98 for coming in and presenting the colors and leading us with the Pledge of Allegiance. Fine job. In a previous report of mine, the Carroll Stream Rotary Club, I mentioned that they have a coat drive, and that has, at the time of my previous report, it has since expired, but they have extended it to February 23rd. So bring any gently or new coats, hats, gloves, or scarves, mittens, to 4 locations, one being the Village Hall here, Fountain View, Simkus Rec Center, and the Western DuPage Special Recreation Association on Schmale, because they can go towards people that really need them to stay warm in this everlasting winter that we have. And finally, I know that the village has put out a warning that there was a scam, that the police department was asking for people to give personal information regarding T-shirts, and that does not happen. So I want to thank them for staying on top of it. They put it on Facebook and their social media. So if you haven't seen it, hopefully you're hearing this, and don't fall for that scam. And finally, let's keep our first responders and military in our thoughts and prayers. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Garvey.
Zalick.
Trustee Giesers?
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry, trustee Zalick.
Both balls.
Johnny Cash.
Uh,
Tom, you're on a roll.
Yeah, no kidding, he's getting the
Both bald?
I want to also congratulate Troop 98 for joining us tonight. My son was part of that troop for a short time, many years ago. And perhaps the troop would like to participate in the Carroll Stream 4th of July Parade, which will be on July 2nd. And you can go and sign up right now at carrollstreamparade.com, carrollstreamparade.com. You can sign up. There's no fee. We, just so you know, some of the non-local folk who will be in the parade include the Jesse White Tumblers, they've agreed, the Doonery Pipe Band, the West Suburban Homeschool Marching Band. We've got a couple Shriners groups, including the Flying Carpets and the Cruising Coolers, and so it's just going to be a great celebration, and hopefully you all can join us. Also, speaking of the summer, very excited to read that we will be doing the movie, which we've talked about, and it's going to be probably the most talked about movie since Frozen. It's Encanto. So congratulations and thank you, Tia. Do you want to tell anything about that?
I just want to say we're very excited to have our summer event series and for this year to be testing out a movie in the park. Encanto has been just a runaway hit with 2 of its songs being in the top 10 on the Billboard charts consistently for several weeks. And we're looking forward to hanging out with everybody at Town Center. So follow our website, follow our social media as we continue to do more updates about the various events we're planning for this year.
It's going to be terrific. It's just such a big hit movie, and we're very excited and surprised that we're able to get it so early in its release run. And then finally, I just want to remind people to make sure, I know we've been going through a lot of stuff over the last couple of years, but go and get your routine medical checks. Go and do that. I had my physical the other day, and thank God, things are going all right. But I just found out a friend of mine, from Carroll Stream, who has prostate cancer because he hasn't been checked. So hopefully, please, everyone, go and do your routine checkups, and we want you to join us for many, many years to come. And that's my report.
Thank you, Trustee Geiser. Trustee Frizzoloni?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, gentlemen from Troop 98, for coming tonight. You did an excellent job presenting the colors and leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. It's nice, this might sound weird, but it's nice to have normal. It's been a while since we've had a troop be able to come in to do this, so it was extra special tonight that you guys were our first group in quite some time. So great job, and, go Scouts. My son was in Scouts for a long time. He's a lot older than you guys, so you guys did a great job. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. I'm going to leave the bags tournament to Mr. Trustee McCarthy to discuss, but I want to touch on something that Trustee Garvey and also Trustee Zalick had talked about. Deputy chiefs, we're lucky, actually, we actually have all of our chiefs in the room tonight. Excellent job. There, for residents who may not have known, we had a robbery situation that happened a little close to home for some people. It was very disconcerting, quite honestly. When the robbery happened at the T-Mobile, my husband actually was at Jewel. So when I got the notification, I immediately called him and said, you might want to head home, just in case, because, there's this thing just happened. Excellent job. I mean, absolutely, positively excellent job in coordinating with the other police agencies and bringing people back into custody and bringing them back to DuPage County where they will face charges. And I want to not only commend our police department, but Summit, the Chicago Police Department, the state police, but also our state's attorneys, because that's a really big deal in my mind, and in my opinion, is that don't come to DuPage County. I was really happy to see that the judge didn't go lenient on them for what happened. I have a son who literally works right around the corner from where this happened, in Heritage Plaza, And routinely, there's times that he's alone in his, where he works. And as a parent, I'd like to know that not only did our police get there fast, we got the bad guys really fast. And that was because of the cooperation and the relationships that you have with other agencies. So please pass on to every officer that was involved in from beginning to the very end. Thank you so much for keeping Carroll Stream safe. I know people were very surprised that crimes like this happen. I think they would be actually more surprised if they learned how many times that crimes like this in neighboring towns happen on a regular, basis. So excellent job to our police department. Thank you so much. And please pass that on. Phil, I haven't talked about Public Works for a little while, so I'm going to give you and Ron some kudos too. Our snow fighting team has been doing an excellent job. Saturday night, we had this thing called a snow squall, which, if you aren't aware what it is, it's basically just quick snow that comes and creates like blizzard-like conditions. I Googled it when my emergency alert went off on my phone. I was actually here at Village Hall volunteering with the police department that night, and everyone's phone started going off, so I thought it was like an Amber Alert, and then everyone's like, what's a snow squall? So I Googled it, and then all people, apparently the only way they can learn is go to Facebook, because there was 27 messages on Facebook, what's a snow squall? And then everyone's copying what they learned from Google. But I was standing here at the window and standing in the conference room window, and I saw our salt trucks. And they not only did they work all day Friday, then they get called in at 9:30 at night after working a full day to deal with very rapidly changing conditions. So please, on behalf of the board, please thank our staff. It was a late winter, but man, have they had it tough the last couple of weeks. So they've been doing an excellent job of fighting everything Mother Nature can throw, including something that people don't understand. People actually were thinking that it was something likened to like a hurricane, because it was a squall, and that's usually a nautical term, I guess. I don't know, I just knew that it was, whatever it was bad enough that they sent out an emergency alert, and then I saw all of the salt trucks that were attacking it, and the roads were great in a very quick amount of time. So say thank you to the staff for us, please. And with that, I'm just going to say that so far, Matt, I am so impressed with the bags tournament and the level of generosity. You weren't here for the last meeting where I kind of gave like a synopsis of what the bags tournament is, but just every update that you've been sending out, the level of generosity has been overwhelming.
Amazing.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, I'm going to end my report so you can go ahead and talk about yours.
Thank you, Trustee Frizzolini. Trustee McCarthy.
Well, I'll say ditto on pretty much everything everybody said during their report, but I will say, Public Works and the Police Department, we sing your praises all the time, and you never fail to prove that you deserve that praise. And I'll leave that at that. You guys do a great job. Our bags tournament, got it kick-started last Wednesday and then again last night, and it'll be going again tomorrow. And actually, thanks to our sponsors and partners, which is Flood Brothers, Chrissy's, R&M Printing, New Tradition Funeral Services, and the silent one, which is Mayor Savarino here, who is always there supporting financially and standing there. He's, being there for it. It's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and raise that number that Mary threw out last week, which was 12.5. No, we're going to go ahead and raise that goal to 18,000. And I think we'll break that, maybe. So the people have been wonderful. The donations have been nothing short of amazing. Our raffle has grills and smokers, and not just the grill or the smoker, but the propane and ribs to go with it and everything else. We've got Amazon cards. We have a 4-hour rental at the VFW as a raffle prize, which is a $500 raffle prize. Arcata Theater gave us both dinner for 4 at Club Arcata and 4 tickets of your choice to one of their concerts. So, I mean, the list goes on and on. It's unbelievable. And again, thanks to the support of the mayor, who's constantly there and constantly, what do you need? And, he makes a lot of this stuff easier. But the funny thing is, last night, we decided not to have the kids' tournament this year. We just thought, maybe some parents aren't ready to put their kids back in the environment just yet, just looking out for it. I had two moms come up to me, why no kids tournament? I said, well, we thought, this is what we thought. We want a kids tournament. I said, well, I don't have time for it right now. I can host it, but I don't have time to set it up. They said, we'll do it. I said, if you guarantee me that we can get 10 teams, we'll do it. And one of the moms runs a soccer club, and I told her, and if you can guarantee me 8 teams, we'll split it between your soccer club, and the other half will go to the police department's Special Olympics. So the weekend, it'll be either the 12th or 13th of March, so a Saturday or Sunday. I think it's going to be the Sunday. Probably about 1 o'clock at Chrissy's, we're going to have the kids' one-day double elimination tournament again. And we'll have some fun. We'll have some a little bit more oriented, like gift cards oriented to the kids for cheaper raffles. And just have a little fun with it, because the kids always seem to have a good time. 2 years ago, one of our member, Paul Zarnicki, and Mary kind of took over working with the kids, and it was wonderful to watch. I mean, they were both kneeling down on the little kids, and some of the little kids, because we kind of handicap it, we let the smaller kids move up closer, and they were beating up on the 16, 15, and 16-year-olds, and we were all kind of snickering to ourselves, because you could see the older kids were not happy that the 8-year-old was beating everybody.
The 8-year-old won, and second place was a 6-year-old,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So I'm just so happy with how, unfortunately, we had to cut back a little bit. We went down to about 12 teams, anywhere from 10 to 14 instead of 18 to 22. Hopefully next year we can go back to regular, because you do miss a little bit of the jam-packed atmosphere, but this is kind of nice too, because you can actually move. But I'm excited that we'll absolutely be donating to 60% will go to Relay for Life, and then 40% will be split between the Dominic Savarino Charitable Foundation and the Knights of Columbus out of Corpus Christi. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple minor donations.
Smaller, not minor.
They won't be even, but they'll be like $1,000 a piece to a couple other local impact charities. And when we say local, we want here in town, number one, and number two, we want it to impact not just one person. We want the opportunity to help a bunch of people, even with a small amount of money. So we're still talking about that, but our committee is awesome. John's been there helping. He shows up and said, what do you need me to do? Of course, Mary's been here since the beginning. My wife, Linda, Tim and Shannon, Kim Martino this year, the whole Sabolowski family, the Mondrala family, Paul, I did say Paul Zarnicki, and then Mike Arnun, who works at Chrissy's, but he's taken it and actually helped us take it to another level, because he's really gotten into it. So our committee, we've got this down to a cookie cutter that we show up and we're ready to go. So that's what makes it easy too. But I do want to thank everybody, and all the donations, whether it be raffle prizes or cash donations, it's just been amazing. And we're pretty excited that we're going to be able to still make a substantial dent this year, because we were a little afraid we were going to be pretty light, and it won't be a regular year, but we'll still do just fine. With that, I'm going to end my report.
Thank you, Trustee McCarthy. Excellent report. You give me a lot of credit that I don't deserve, but thank you. To me, it's just part of what we all do, the staff and all the trustees, but thank you especially. Tia, do you have anything?
I'd just like to say that so far our community is really coming out for our summer event series. We've received pledges and donations equaling $15,200. But please make sure to reach out to us if you're interested in being a concert series sponsor, as we still have some room. You can contact us at the Village Hall main line, or we have a concert series email address on our website. That's concertseries@carolstream.org. Reach out to us and I can give you details on our wonderful sponsorship packages. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Tia. Thank you for the job you're doing. Thank you for putting together all the summer projects that you worked on, especially being able to collect that kind of money from the sponsors. That really helps our budget and gives us an opportunity to do more for the people of Carroll Stream. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd just like to thank everybody who kept my friend Fred Foster in their thoughts and prayers, and also that I could see him before he passed away. He did pass away Friday, the 11th, a few days after I got to see him. So the next morning, after the board meeting, I asked my boss if I could take a couple hours off, drove down to the hospital in Sandwich. His family told me not to come because he was unconscious. They didn't think he'd wake up. So I went in there, and I had to say goodbye. I took his hand. I said, "Fred, it's Julie." He opened his eyes. He tried to talk to me. We had like a few minutes where we got to say our goodbye. So I was so grateful. So thank you all for that, for your prayers. And I'd also like to extend my deepest condolences to the family of Nancy Smith. I don't know how many of you know Nancy, but she was the city clerk in West Chicago for 30 years. And my deputy clerk, Sherry Craig, actually mentored Nancy years ago when she was a clerk in Hanover Park. And when I first stepped into this role a year and a half ago, I reached out to Nancy, and she gave me all kinds of advice. Every time I had a little question about the minutes or this or that, she would send me emails with a flood of information, and she was just such a giving person and just such a sweetheart. I had the pleasure to meet her at one of our DuPage Municipal Clerks meetings, and just a great lady. She was like Fred Foster, she was also a veteran. And I met her husband Don at the wake the other day, and just a real sweet man, and so just, keep that family in your prayers as well. And on a lighter note, I want to say I'm looking forward to playing in the Bags tournament tomorrow, Matt. Unfortunately, I just had a bad fall on a clay tennis court, and I tore my rotator cuff, so Greg is going to have to carry us tomorrow. We're not going to do so well. Team Schwartz is not going to have a great game, but I will be having surgery probably in the next month or so, and but yeah, so that's all good. And then last thing, I wanted to just remind people to please shop and dine in Carroll Stream. That's all I have.
I have a question for Madam Clerk. Was there a date set for the Roccovino's clerk,
It was set for February 2nd.
right?
And it
Is
was-
there a new update as to,
Not yet. I'm working with the DuPage Municipal Clerks Association to pick a new date. So yes, I do hope to reschedule our Carroll Stream hosting in the next few months. I will definitely let you guys know.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the report. Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have one item this evening. The Illinois Municipal League put out a legislative alert this week. I sent some information to Bob about it. Of particular note is a Senate bill that was sponsored by Senator Gillespie, which I have to admit is my senator. It amends the Tax Increment Allocation Redevelopment Act. And as you know, Village of Carroll Stream has used the tax increment financing very successfully, both in the past and currently. And this act really will have a devastating effect on the ability of municipalities in the state of Illinois to use that economic development tool in the future. I won't go into all of the changes that are being proposed, but it does quite a bit to shift power with respect to how the development is used and when surpluses are determined, and it lowers the number of years for tax increment financing to 10-year initial period of time. Which, as you know, is sometimes just not long enough to be able to provide necessary incentives. So I would recommend that you all take a look at the IML's position paper on that, and if you can, please contact your senator to indicate that you really think that this is a very bad proposal. And hopefully we can stop this so that tax increment financing can continue in the state of Illinois, continue to help economic development in very, very many communities that really need it.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Miller, our village manager.
Just to follow up on that, we have contacted our state representatives and senators expressing our opposition to that. So we'll see where that goes. If we can all think back to early 2020, or prior to that, prior to the pandemic and its arrival in the U.S. In early 2020, residents used to come into the village hall and fill out their building permits, and they would pay for it here. As a result of the pandemic and some of the lockdowns that we went through, we implemented an online building permit porthole, which is now active on the village website. And I want to turn it over to our Community Development Director, Don Bastian, just to explain a little bit about it and how people can apply for their permits online.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and with a lot of help from finance and IT, we have launched the ability for residents to apply for building permits online. You know, swimming pools, decks, sheds, air conditioners, fences, driveways, all that kind of stuff. Those applications can be submitted online through our website, and payment can be made online as well. So we're certainly still available to help people that want to come in and talk across our counter, but this now is an option for people to come in and apply for permits in a way. You know, if the 8 to 5 hours of Village Hall is inconvenient for them, this just makes it a lot easier for them to be able to do business with us. And early feedback from people that have applied online for permits is very positive. They've said that it's very easy to use and it's clear and easy to understand. So just want to just take a minute to kind of promote that that's out there. All you have to do is click the building permits button on the very front page of the website and off you go.
Thank you, Don. We'd also like to recognize new businesses that come into town. We have 2 new restaurants, one having a soft opening this week, another having a ribbon cutting. The first one is Tasty House 1, serving authentic Vietnamese food and fresh seafood. They'll be having a soft opening on Thursday, February 24th at 11 a.m. at 1042 Fountain View Drive. And also on Thursday at 10:30 a.m., there will be a ribbon cutting for Chicago Fish and Chicken Restaurant at 333 South Schmale Road. And then finally, with spring right around the corner and summer coming up, we will be recruiting for summer seasonal help in our public works and engineering departments. Engineering is currently advertising for a civil engineer summer intern, and public works will be advertising for some seasonal employees to cut grass and streets division, and a couple of employees for the water and sewer division. We'll be getting more into that during the budget workshop after this meeting. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Mayor, tonight I have a question.
Sure, absolutely.
I know our wonderful governor is removing the mask mandate on the 28th. And I know everybody has a stance one way or another. But what is the plan for the village? Are we still requiring masks after the 28th, or are we following his lead?
We generally follow the governor's directive, so
Sweet.
we will be following the no mask.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you. That's good news. Thank you.
It'll be mask optional, so if somebody wants to
Right,
wear it, they
of
can wear
course.
it. Yep, but it's not mandatory.
Well, no one hates these masks more than me. My eyes have not stopped watering for probably a year. I can't breathe right. It's miserable, but maybe it's kept me healthy. When the 28th comes, I think the option will be if you want to wear a mask, that's your option. If you don't want to wear the mask, that's your option. If you're fully vaxxed and you think you're okay and you're healthy, then I wouldn't worry about it. And if you're not, then keep the mask on, save your life maybe. So I think that, I think you're seeing what's happening around the world. I think people are starting to get fed up with too many mandates and too many rules, too many regulations, too many life-changing things, too many things that are not in everybody's best interest. So that's my opinion. I'm very opinionated lately. We're coming into a strong election year, which is going to be very interesting. So we need to make sure you do your homework on who's running for office. Remember the people that did the most and that do the most and that are the most honest, because that's really what I'm looking for, is honesty, an honest politician. And we've got a lot of openings this year coming up on the county board, and we've got a lot of openings coming up and a lot of new redistricting with senators and reps. So it's going to be very interesting to watch what happens here in the next several months with the petitions being signed and everything that's going on. Chief, thank you, and the police department. I can't say enough about you guys. You are just a step ahead of everybody, and you're not going to win them all, but you sure win your fair share and do a good job, and you make us proud, and you make the people in this town feel safe, and that's really the most important thing. Just keep doing what you do, and you know how we all feel. You tell us what you need. If we can find it, we'll give it for you. So, I know we're working on the body cams next, is that right?
I'm not live, but to answer you, yes, we are fully implemented. In the last week or two, training the rest of the patrol staff. I think the only ones left are the investigators who don't have them live. But we are out on the road with them as we speak.
Aren't we ahead of schedule?
Yeah, well, yeah,
A couple
well,
years.
well, we decided that instead of waiting until the 3 years or whatever it was,
Transparency?
we appropriated the money and just told the police department, go ahead and order the body cams. We all felt, I know a lot of us felt the same way, it not only helps the police officer as much as it does anybody else, because people are out there with their phones, but they're only letting people see what they want to see and not what really happened. So to protect the police and to protect everybody, the body cams are important. It's costing us a lot of money. There's another thing that we need to look at that I've been talking to some of the other mayors about, and that's I guess they take video pictures of the license plate readers. I think we got 2 towns near us now that are doing them. And some of the things that they're finding, like on stolen cars or different things that are kind of important. I don't have any prices or anything. I guess there's a program you could put it in, and if it works, you can keep it, but you got to pay for it, which is one of them scams, it sounds like. But, you know, anyway, if it works, and it was, I know they work them, some of the train stations use them, where they can take the license plates of cars come in and out.
Well,
Mr. Mayor, I appreciate the segue. We're going to talk about that at our workshop.
and like I said, I mean, I was with the police, and I was one of the first officers that had to deal with, you know, Deputy Chief Jungers when we were in traffic, and we had the first camera in the car. I personally hated it, because I thought Big Brother was watching, you know, but you do the job right, which, I mean, we have faith in our police department to do the job right, and 9.5 times to 10 times out of 10, it saves the police officer from, you know, a bogus complaint or something that someone says that he did. So it's a necessary evil, and I'm proud that we are able to initiate the program and have cameras ahead of the requirement.
I would hope that there'll be a day where they can spot a license plate before they make the stop and know exactly who that person is that owns the car. If they have a FOID card, if they have concealed carry, so you know what you're getting yourself into. If the car's stolen, if the license plates don't match the car. I mean, I don't know, I don't get involved in the police department work. I leave that to the experts. But it would make it a lot easier at 3 o'clock in the morning when you pull a car over to know if it's stolen and you know what you're dealing with. It could be a continuous DUI person that's noted to be violent when you stop them, and you might be out there alone and make the stop and end up fighting for your life in 3 o'clock in the morning on North Avenue. So whatever the police department, what we could do to make anybody feel safer has always been a top priority in Carroll Stream. Public Works, I can't say enough. I was watching them the same thing as Mary said, Trustee Frizzoloni. They were out there throwing salt, and I'm thinking, man, when I see the white lines, I know it's going to snow. That means they're putting brine down. When I see them throwing salt, I know it's going to really be bad before it happens. So, but they've done a great job. Are we okay on salt right now? Yes. That was a quick yes. We've had some weird weather this winter, I'll tell you, that I could remember. One day it's 50, the next day we got 3 inches of snow, then it's 50 again. So, but thank you for the job you are doing at Public Works. I have a lot of people thank me for doing it. I don't drive the truck. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, Phil, and that's what I tell them. Public Works, thank the Public Works guys when you see them. You know, if you see them on the corner and you want to stop and say thank you, that would be wonderful. So And thank you for the job that you do. We are going, I really, other than that, I don't have, my wife is feeling a little bit better, which makes me feel a little bit better. She's been sick for quite a while. She's finally starting to come around a little bit, but a little bit is better than not coming around at all. So I just appreciate the effort that all the doctors put in on her and my family and friends. So that's, it's a wonderful thing. So we are going to go into, we're going to stay right here, aren't we?
We have a budget workshop immediately following the board meeting.
Okay, so we will, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second?
Moved by trustee Frizzaloni, seconded by trustee McCarthy. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesser.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
This part of our meeting is adjourned.